We're out here at pump station number 6. That's the pump station that serves both Orleans and Jefferson parishes. It's just off of Metairie Road on the 17th Street Canal. I'm joined by two council members, one from Jefferson Parish, one from New Orleans. Jefferson Parish, Scott Walker, and from New Orleans, Joe Geruso. First of all, to you first, Scott, the pump station 6 here has a major pumping capacity, but it went down for a few hours during Ida, and that caused major issues from flooding in Old Metairie for your residents. What do you have to say about readiness this time?
Yeah, and good to hear that pump station 6 is in a much better place now than it was then, but then it was probably in a good spot too until it wasn't. So we always have to look at where things are, where things might be, and I know that our public works director is in constant contact with people here at pump station 6, and if anything happens, we are notified immediately about it, so we know how to prepare and we know how to pivot. But the southern part of Old Metairie does depend on this, so it's a pump station that we depend on, yet have no control over. And
you actually had some water in houses during Ida. I think it might have been the only part of the parish where you actually had water in houses.
And that typically, doesn't happen in Jefferson Parish. So it's certainly something we want to avoid, and this will be a good dry, wet run, so to speak, for pump station 6. And everything, knock on wood, looks good so far, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, I mean, this is a major pump station for the New Orleans side as well. We know that there's a difference between preparedness and actual execution, though. We know that there's some issues in New Orleans. For instance, the old Carrollton underpass pump is down, and that actually flooded in a regular rainstorm just a few weeks ago. But we also know that the Sewage and Water Board system has the most power readiness that it's ever had for self-producing power. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, look, right now, Sewage and Water Board has 70 megawatts full of power. They need 44 to operate. The fact that they have almost double what they need is a really big deal. Scott, I think, alluded to the other thing, which is communication is key. Their website crashed for a little while yesterday because we were directing so much traffic to it. That's maybe a first that happened for them, and we want people to continue to use that website so they can see what's actually happening in real time.
And water certainly doesn't know parish lines. So New Orleans, Jefferson Parish doesn't matter in a storm like this. What matters is keeping water out of people's homes and making sure this thing works properly.
Now, another major point of coordination is with the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority, which controls the outfall canal pump stations and closure stations, and then all the major closure complexes. They are not closed yet at the lake, but they're getting close. I think it's 2.5 feet in these outfall canals, and the trigger point is 3 feet on one of them and 4 on the other two. They're not sure what they're going to do yet. What is the coordination going to be like with that?
Well, look, we rely on them to actually monitor everything that goes on. They've always been very good partners. And look, when that water hits that mark, they jump into action. And look, we were on a call earlier today. I know Jefferson Parish, you all had your briefing. Everybody's talking, communicating in real time to one another to make sure those things get closed as actively as they needed to.
And in Jefferson Parish, there's also Pontiff Playground, which plays a key role because you actually use it to pump water in and get it out of the communities. Where does that stand right now, Scott?
Yeah, Pontiff is a great resource to have. It makes the playground useless for a few days for recreation, which is fine because nobody's using it anyway, but it's got a levee ring all the way around it, and it retains water really, really well. It holds a lot of water. So that is a huge resource for us to have on the backside of Old Metairie, where we know Old Metairie, just like the rest of Jefferson Parish, has some smaller drainage pipes in some places, and it's old infrastructure, so we don't drain as quickly as we'd like to because it's so old. But Pontiff is a big help. Massive pumps push that water into Pontiff Playground. There is a pump on the backside of Pontiff at the back gate, the Falcon Road pump, that is installed as a temporary pump right now because the main pump there is being repaired. But there should be no difference in capacity between the temporary pump and the regular pump that's there.
Yeah. So basically the story is that the two parishes are coordinating, and the Sewage and Water Board, which does play a role for both parishes, even though it's mainly in New Orleans, is more ready with power and their pump capacity than they've been in a long time before a storm. 70 megawatts of power, where at their maximum they really only need 44, so they have redundancy in place, and this is a really good sign. Both of these gentlemen are here to check out things, and they say that everything is looking good, but again, the key is execution. So for now, reporting from Pump Station 6 on the Orleans-Jefferson line, David Hammer, WWL Louisiana.